All right, I'm recording this video at midnight, right after the Summer Games Fest stream. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I did catch the Splitgate reveal, as I was very excited for this game. I should probably sit this one out. I've made a pretty consistent rule that I try not to be overly negative on this channel, but there are some things I feel I have to speak up on. And I'm just... I don't know if I'm going to post this. It won't be fun if I do, for me. But I feel like I have things to say. And then maybe I should say them. This sucks. This really sucks. What we're looking at here is a game studio full of junior game devs who just basically got overnight success, who have no freaking clue what they're doing on the marketing front, on the money management front, on the game development front. Clearly, they're capable of developing a game, like mechanically, on a technical level, but in terms of the rest of it, no. What has been revealed, if you missed it, they have been teasing for a few weeks now with Splitgate 2. They were going to have a big announcement at Summer Games Fest, which, by the way, costs a minimum of $500,000 to get up on stage and wear your fucking Trump hat. They've been teasing that they're having something everyone's requested for Splitgate coming on, something bigger beyond the multiplayer. And everyone was like, oh, a campaign. And their responses were, think bigger. Well, the only thing bigger than a campaign, assuming it's not a trilogy of campaigns, we could then assume it was either a BR or an extraction shooter. They revealed it's a BR. It's a battle royale, following their original reveal of a very much more e-sporty hero shooter-like experience, fully tearing away from the original arena shooter vibe. And it looks like post the original alpha that, I had tried and many of us had originally tried, they've tried to bring back some of the arena shooter stuff. But clearly, their $100 million investment that they should have never taken for a small studio that made a niche, middling performing game with a brief window of success, they should have never had that level of investment. Completely irresponsible and absolutely insane to have accepted. Clearly, they took all that, have all the pressure in the freaking world to turn that into a popular mainstream game, and they're playing right into the exact failure path that every other shooter that has released in the past 8 years has fallen into. Name successes in the battle royale space and the esport hero shooter space besides the originals of like PUBG and Apex Legends, and then Marvel Rivals for the recent hero shooter genre. Every other game has failed. It is a path that makes zero sense to walk. It is a path that goes against everything the original community wanted, what all of us stood by the game for, and the entire time they have been gaslighting the player base from the original rug pull. So the reason I brought up the Battle Royale thing is because it makes this crystal clear what happened when they ceased development for Splitgate 1. If you don't remember, Splitgate 1 released, it was in beta. They had a beta season and then a season 0. It got a whole bunch of attention on Twitch and YouTube when suddenly we weren't getting Halo for a long time and Call of Duty wasn't in the best spaces. And suddenly everyone's like, oh, look, an old school shooter. Let's go back to it. And it got a lot of popularity. A lot of creators like myself and others, I'm not going to name specific names just so no one else gets blackballed by this video or whatever. A lot of us had been playing it and talking about it for long before then. I even tried it out pre-release at an event. I was a huge advocate for this game. Then it got a lot of attention, and they ramped up to a massive player base for a few weeks. And during that time, they had a ton of issues scaling their server loads and their ability to support the game, and they released absolutely zero new content. As far as we could tell, they didn't even have the idea that they should be making new content for the game. Like, they had absolutely nothing ready, nothing they could push, nothing they could do. It was at this point in time they started talking about how they were going to have a roadmap of new things to introduce to the game. It's like, oh, we have players now, more than a few thousand. Maybe we should make content for the game. Hey guys, we're going to start making content for the game now. And they put out this roadmap, which included things like a map editor, which actually came out and was pretty great. And we got a lot of cool Forge style, like Halo and Call of Duty and Counter-Strike map recreations that were added to the rotation, custom game modes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And they promised waves and waves of this roadmap. And it was looking pretty great. People were buying up skins. They introduced battle passes, which was not ideal, but it was a free game after a certain point. Like they'd have to make money. That's fine. It was cosmetics only. I'm not going to complain that much. Fine. And then right as we were supposed to get the season 1 for the game to really officially come out of beta, they rug pulled the entire goddamn game. They said, hey, everybody, maybe never mind. We're going to cease development of Splitgate 1. We got a bigger vision. We got a better vision. We're going to make Splitgate 2 instead. So we're going to go quiet for what turned into a few years. And we'll see y'all on the other side with the better game. Now, we kind of thought that maybe they wanted to fix some of the tech debt of a game that started as a 2-man team and make something a little more stable that they could iterate on faster to release new content. And then they later revealed that they were moving to UE5, which seemed unnecessary. And then all the marketing came out once they actually had something to show, and it looked nothing like the original game. Now, during this time, the first instance of Gaslighting, when they announced that they were ceasing development of it, they made a whole show, a whole big deal of it, and did this whole goodbye Splitgate thing. And so the layman, who wasn't super keyed into the news and just kind of saw the passing, suddenly everybody, the average person, was like, wow, they shut down that game. That sucked. I really enjoyed it. And while creators like myself did our best to be like, no, it's not going away. Please keep playing so we can play with you, they're just not making new content for it. In the modern game cycle, as much as I hate it, saying there's no new content and we're making something else is a self-fulfilling cycle of telling your players to stop playing. And they communicated it so freaking poorly that most people thought they just shut down the freaking game. And instead of being like, my bad, guys, please keep playing our game, they ended up doing like community events and tournaments and stuff for a while. Instead of highlighting that better and being like, yo, get involved in this so you can also be first in line for the updates about the new game or whatever, they took to social media to explain how everyone was wrong, that they didn't shut down the game, and that people who believed that were falling for clickbait or just foolish. That is a marketing team failing to communicate, having to re-explain their marketing, which is ultimately a marketing failure right then and there, and then telling the audience that they are wrong for reading into what was said by the team itself. This was, by the way, creators like myself really advocated for this game. I was never once sponsored or paid for anything, any coverage by the Splitgate team. They did pay other people, by the way. I'm, again, not naming specifics, and it was all above board. I'm not saying it was shady, but like I was never paid for it. But like on both of my channels, my main channel and this one, I basically shilled the hell out of this game because I believed in it and the vision of a return to some sort of arena shooter vibe so much, and I enjoyed it so much. I used it in lots of my benchmarks, my CRT testing, and just dedicated videos over here. I ended up doing a free consulting job for them where I helped the community team out with what I thought my vision would be for how to best support the game given their flounders up to that point. And that is when they did the rug pull. With this new reveal in mind, I keep straying away as I try to include everything, it is clear that they got a whole bunch of investment during the pandemic because this is right when this happened. They got the investment right as they blew up. They said, hey, you know what would make us more successful? If we made a battle royale. No one's thought of that before. And they put a battle royale in. They wanted to put a battle royale in the game. They realized that their tech debt and the engine that they had put together with UE4 and with the game from its rocky origins would not support it. And instead of making it a separate SKU, which would have been great, would have been fine, would have been a great companion game to the main arena shooter, instead of being transparent about that fact, they just shut down the game. All the money you spent on it wasted. You're not going to get those skins in the next game. Any hope you had of this being a prosperous game in the future, thanks for your money, bye. They just rug pulled the whole game so that they could go make a genre that was already dying by this point. Then fast forward to last year, I guess, when they started revealing stuff before the alpha. It looks like the most generic EA released esports hero shooter ever. And when everyone's like, wow, that sure looks like a hero shooter, Once again, they took to social media to gaslight their player base and be like, I know you said it looks like a hero shooter, but it's nothing like it. It doesn't look anything like a hero shooter. It's a faction shooter. We just made that genre up. It's not a hero shooter. It's a faction shooter. And then we get the alpha. And so many of us are like, man, this plays nothing like Splitgate 1. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. And it's got all this hero shooter stuff in it. And they're like, don't believe those people. Those people haven't played the game. It's not a hero shooter. It's a faction shooter. And then they just took to social media again recently, as the beta has been absolutely lambasted by the community for going away from its origins, for not being the game they signed up for, and once again for their massive server issues. Their community manager took to social media to be like, people are saying we're not building an arena shooter anymore. That is simply wrong. Arena shooter's at the core of this game. How can you not tell that? That is gaslighting again. If you have to keep explaining your marketing failed. You keep telling the audience one thing, meaning another, and then getting mad at them and communicating that you're basically mad at them for believing the thing you said in the first place. And then all of this fluff, all of this marketing about still believing in the arena shooter and all this, and how they're innovating the future. They're building something bigger. They're going to make, as the stupid hat, I can't believe Jeff even let him get on the stage with it, to make first-person shooters great again. How are you going to make a genre great again? By playing into every failed marketing gimmick that has failed countless shooters in the past 8 years. You're doing nothing new. You're doing the same thing that has failed game after game after game. And you're just going to keep gaslighting us about it? No wonder you're wearing a fucking Trump hat. All of this, by the way, the public social media posts about how we're misinterpreting the game, misrepresenting it, not understanding their creative vision. This is all while also DMing creators who they were in direct contact with to tell them that to their face, that we just didn't understand, that it plays more like this game or this game than we would ever believe. And they're huge fans of this game, and they just think we'll have to get used to it. DMing creators to try to shame them for their publicly stated opinions, which creates a really messy, muddy thing that no one wants to get involved in anymore. All while they went through massive layoffs last year, laying off community managers, some of which who have mysteriously come back with stories of really horrible working environments, sweeping conservative in-studio politics that were really mistreating some employees, lots of social issues that I won't even touch on because I don't have all of the facts straight at this point. And now, of course, we've learned that the creator of the game, the main one, comes from another wealthy CEO. So the whole mythology here of this game being made by a couple indie dudes in their college dorm rooms, the game came from money. No wonder they were so quickly hooked up with money and then so nonchalantly told to take in as much money as they can, that they will never be able to, even if they were a solid success in this genre, they would never actually see a return on that investment. This is how you ruin a game studio. And every ounce of good PR with like-minded people that your game originally built up. I don't even know what footage I'm going to put on this video because I had actually just deleted most of my backlog of Splitgate footage, assuming I would have new footage to show soon. Splitgate's dead to me. I put my soul into talking about helping promoting this game. Like I said, I did free consultation work for them that I could have charged thousands of dollars for. I believed in it. I believed in the team, clearly before I knew enough about them. They have betrayed me as a player, as a creator, as an advocate, and now with the political showing on display here, as a human being. Fuck this, I am out.